Hello, hello, and welcome to Front Row Vendors Podcast. I am your host, Autumn. I have got a really awesome venue today, which is Summerfield Farms, and Holly is with us, who is got the most adorable outfit on. It looks like she's dressed for winter perfectly. But so Summerfield Farms is like this perfect venue. And it's got like where it rustic charm meets modern luxuries, which is actually a tagline on their website, which I thought was super cute. So I had to use it. So Holly, thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. We're super excited to be a part of your podcast and we
Yeah,
love what you're doing.
so am I. Yay. So tell me about you. Tell me about Holly. How did you get started in the wedding industry?
It's kind of a funny story. I grew up here in Summerfield. I was born and raised and went off to school in Appalachian State. And growing up, my best friend lived in this farmhouse that's on the farm. So
Wow.
we played out on this farm before it was a wedding venue and a larger organic working farm. And so when I came back home from school, I was like, let me just stop in and see what they're doing. I mean, I would ride my four-wheeler over to this farm or walk here. Just held such a special place in my heart. And so I just stopped in one day, and what used to be like a drive-through shed was now enclosed, and it was like a little farmer's market. And they were selling the beef they were raising, the eggs they were raising, and other local organic products. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to be a part of this. And like they were doing weddings, and I called up David, the owner, and I said, what can I do to get involved? Like, I have to be here. And so there was an opportunity for a part-time position in the market and a part-time position working the events on the weekend, like the closing shift. And I said, I'll take it. I'll do whatever I need to do out here. Like, I'll mow the grass. I'll do whatever I have to do. And so I started working part-time in the market and part-time closing the venue down, and it finally blossomed into a full-time position, and I've just been hitting the ground running ever since. So that's how I got here, and I fell in love with the weddings along the way and everything that we do out here.
Do you feel like there was a wedding that you did with Summerfield that like nailed the or was the thing that nailed in the coffin? Wow. For you to go, this is exactly what I want to do. This was a good time, or this was a good thing for me to actually come down here and talk to David.
Yeah, it was honestly like the first wedding I like helped, like shadowed one before like I took the part-time position. And it was honestly that first wedding, just seeing the joy in all the families and the couple's eyes and the part that we play in that. I mean, just the impact that you're part of someone's huge moment of their life. Like you're part of something that's they're going to remember for the rest of their lives. And it's such a crucial moment that it has to be perfect. And just knowing that we get to play that role was just, it's overwhelming in a good way that someone trusts you to make that happen for them. And that's what I wanted. I was like, I want to be this for someone. And seeing our team, how they incorporated into that and how they made it happen, I fell in love. And the families and it's just everyone coming together. The old saying, it takes a village, is 100% true. And just seeing everyone come together for a common good of the love of this couple it's incredible. And I'm sure
Wow.
photographing all of it. I mean, it's truly incredible.
Yeah, the emotion that just comes along with the entire day. It doesn't matter which wedding or what kind of couple it is. There's just so many awesome emotions. Yeah, I love it. Is there, so actually just tell me a little bit more about Summerfield, because I know that you guys have multiple barns for the couples.
Yeah. The coolest part about Summerfield Farms is all of the structures and our guest houses are original to the property. So the house that I'm sitting in right now was built in 1926. And
Oh,
yeah, it is our office space and our meeting room. So when we meet with our couples, folks come in and we'll go through your details, your layouts, and all that fun stuff. But our two venues on the property, I'm looking out the window to one of them. Our barn, the large white one that you'll see on the website, that was built in 1946. And it housed hay and tractor equipment in it. It had dirt floors. It's just served many purposes for the farm over the years. And our other venue called the Pole Barn sits across the property on the pond, which is it's so tucked away. It's beautiful. It's a little bit more rustic and it's open air. And that was a tractor shed for many, many years until it was renovated in 2015. So it's just so cool. And all the guest houses in the property have a special story from the families that lived there and the type of farm they operated. So one of our bridal suites, it was a dairy farm back then. It was the family's home that operated the dairy farm. And
Oh,
the cabin across the property, it was the family's home that they grew hay for horses. And another home, it was the home and they had a tobacco farm out here. So it's just so cool for us to maintain that integrity and be able to repurpose that without tearing it down and getting to share the love for many more years to come.
right. I mean, is there a difference between the two barns?
Yes, there are. So our barn, the one we call the barn, it's the white one. It's the one you see right in front of the property. The max capacity for that one's roughly 300 for a seated dinner.
Oh,
Now, if you're doing a floating event with heavy apps and that sort of thing, we can do up to 550 in that space. So that one has this beautiful white tent that accompanies the back of it for the seated dinner, and it has a rooftop terrace that overlooks the rolling pastures. And the beautiful silo that's attached to it is actually a bar at the rooftop. So it's a great surprise for all the guests when they come up there. They're like, wait, what is this? So
holy cow.
really cool surprise. And our owner did a wonderful job of renovating it and adding those really cool nooks and crannies to it. And then our pole barn venue is a little smaller. Like I said, it's across the property, tucked away. It's a little bit more intimate. It's a little bit more rustic, being it's open air, but it backs up to this beautiful patio with this Edison string bulb lighting that just overlooks this rolling grove that backs up to the pond. And it is one of my most favorite spots on the property. It has this beautiful swing that sits back there that makes for the cutest bridal photos and just a couple of photos after ceremony.
Oh,
But it is gorgeous. It's very peaceful, and they both are amazing venues in their own way. So what's cool is someone that's looking for something a little bit more modern and industrial, they tend to lean towards the barn, and folks that are looking for that more rustic type of wedding venue, they lean more towards the pole barn. So it's great that we can accommodate both needs there.
wow. I mean, besides like the two barns and this amazing bar, because I think I actually remember seeing it in an introduction video that you guys have on your website. It looked awesome. I didn't know exactly what it was, but that's really freaking amazing. Is there anything that you specifically provide for your couples when they book with you?
Yeah, we do. We provide, I mean, we love having couples out here at the farm. So we do everything we can to make their experience seamless and stress-free. So in all of our packages in the property, we provide tables and chairs for 150.
Wow.
Our event staff that set up and break down all tables and chairs. We include 2 golf carts and 2 drivers to transport your guests throughout the ceremony and afterwards. We include, leading up to the event, unlimited text messages, phone calls, video chats, FaceTimes, whatever you need. Because like you said, like folks that aren't local, I mean, it can be a little stressful planning a wedding from afar. So we try to make that as easy and seamless as possible. And in addition to that, we work with you on layouts. We set up walkthrough meetings with the couple and the planner, and whatever vendor needs to come out to see the property before the big day. We want to make sure everyone is prepared and has the resources they need. But my favorite thing that we include with our packages are the 2 guest houses. So you get 2 full guest houses from 9 a.m. until 11 p.m. And they're fully equipped with glassware, dishes, a Wi-Fi, cable TV. They range anywhere from 1 bedroom, 1 bath to 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. So it's perfect if you need a babysitter in the house for little youngsters, or if you just need to come back and do an outfit change to refresh, to just have a moment. I mean, it's super awesome.
Wow. And so before we even got on the air, you and I were talking, you have like 2 distinct things that you provide to your couples. And I was just kind of floored with it. So can you tell everybody about that?
Oh, yes. So this is also another one of my favorite parts. You just get so excited doing this stuff. It just, yeah. So we have this. So Summerfield Farms, we're the only distributor for our water called Health 2.0. And it's this cool little, I always have a bottle with me. Today I have this little mini one. So it's a little tiny one. But always have it with me. It is bottled at the bottom of a volcano in Ecuador, and it's untouched by human hands. It has colloidal gold and silver in it. So it's wonderful for reducing inflammation levels in your body, and it has a low TDS, which is total dissolved solvents. So when you consume the water, there's not many, like a ton of random particles in it. So your cells are able to absorb the water more. And in turn, you actually become more hydrated than drinking other bottled water.
Wow.
Ton of health benefits with it. Highly recommend it. But when folks come to tour, we do meetings. We always give folks a bottle of our Health 2.0. And when you check into our guest houses, there's Health 2.0 in the fridge. So it's awesome because on wedding days, if you are drinking, it's great to stay hydrated, and this water helps keep you hydrated a little bit more. And then our other thing that we offer is, in addition to us being a wedding and events venue, we are a large organic working farm, and we raise 100% grass-fed and grass-finished cattle. So we offer packages for our couples, different beef packages and grilling boxes, so that when they check in, we could have a grilling box waiting for them in the guest house to grill on their wedding day. A lot of times the guys enjoy doing that, and they have a little bit more free time on the wedding day. So each guest house comes with a grill. So if it is a beautiful day outside, you can hang out and grill and play yard games and just relax with your loved ones.
Man, do you know, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I failed to mention both of our items. We just released our little store, our farmers market here on the property. We've taken it online, so now folks can purchase our water, our beef, any of our branded items. So like if you just booked the barn, we have little barn candles and prints. You can order those online, and we can ship them all over the U.S. So we're super excited about that.
And that's on the same website if they were wanting to go and contact you for a wedding, correct? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's super easy. When do couples normally book with you?
So it ranges. So we try to offer something for everyone. So on average, we have folks booking 8 to 14 months in advance. But then you also have a group of couples that are last minute weddings, or it's a micro wedding or an elopement. So we accommodate all over the board.
Man, do you feel like that you guys have a certain type of couple that like maybe like a personality trait, like they're a little bit laid back, or is there any kind of couple that books with you normally?
No, not typically. We pride ourselves being on very inclusive. So we have couples all over the board, and that's what we love most. So our favorite part is seeing how each couple's distinctive personality gets put on the venue. And I've been involved a little over 4 years now, and I have not seen the same wedding twice, which is the coolest thing.
Heck yeah.
So we welcome all walks of life, and we want everyone to feel included and loved and special on their special day. And, we see that across the board, which is beautiful.
Wow. And then you guys also, you said that you mentioned that you have a bridal suite. You guys do have a groom suite as well.
Yes, we do. Yeah, so we include 2 guest houses, whether it's 2 brides or 2 grooms, or, however they like to utilize them. They're included on the property with their package, and they can utilize them as they see fit.
I love that you said that too, the 2 brides and the 2 grooms. I love that. That was so sweet. That's perfect. What do you feel like would be the one thing that makes you guys stand out above everybody else?
Well, what's cool about what we do is we're not just a wedding venue. And what I've heard from our couples and our teammates, we've had several teammates on our team that's gotten married here, and I myself have gotten married here. The coolest part is that we're not just a wedding venue. We offer weekly free community events where folks get to come out and hang out on the property with food trucks and live music. And we're not just a wedding venue. We're open 7 days a week. 365 basically. I mean, we're closed for a couple major holidays, but the coolest thing is folks bring back is, they get married and they start having children. They're coming back for their maternity photos, their family.
Oh.
They're coming back for all of life's special moments. And that's what we embody. We're not just your wedding venue. Once you get married here, you're part of our farm-ily, and we sincerely
that.
So we invite folks to come and hang out with us all the time. And what's so great is, like, sometimes you'll find us in the market having a glass of wine with a couple that's gotten married, or they're soon to be married. And we just encourage that they bring their families and friends back, and it's a special moment for them for the rest of their lives. Like, it's not just a wedding venue. We're a community for you. So
you got lifelong clients, and they're part of your family. That was so adorable. I love that.
Yeah. I too, we get a little obsessed about it, but it's so true. I mean, you work with someone for anywhere from 8 to 12 to 14 months planning their wedding. I mean, you can't just say goodbye at the end. I mean, you're coming back to hang out. We're connecting on social media. It truly is a family. So.
Right. Well, describe your guys as like your typical wedding. How long would a wedding normally be for you?
Yeah, so folks have access to the property from 9 a.m. till midnight. Yeah, so our local noise ordinance is 10:30 p.m. So that gives folks plenty enough time to get their setup done, get their design done for their vendors, have the event itself, and then gives those vendors that need to come back and clean up time at the end of the evening before that midnight cutoff. So yeah, it's we have internally for our team, we have two sets of teams that work with you on the event day. It's our operations team and then our venue coordinators. So our venue coordinator team, your coordinator that's been working with you through your meetings, like your walkthroughs and that sort of thing, they're with you until you say I do and you get back to your cocktail hour and that sort of thing. And then we have our other venue coordinators that also meet with you as well, and they're there to let you help you pack your belongings up and send you on your way. So
Man.
it takes a village.
Right. And I know it's only a small window of time, but a lot of venues are their noise ordinance is usually around 10 o'clock. So the fact that you guys are able to do an extra 30 more minutes of partying is awesome. I know a lot of people would appreciate that. What was another one? So what do you feel, let's see. What other vendors do you offer? Because you were talking about you have the coordinator on there. Do you offer anything else for the couples?
Yeah, great question. So here at the farm, since we are an organic working farm, we are certified organic on our property. So that comes with some awesome challenges to ensure that we're maintaining the integrity of our soil and our cattle and our produce and that sort of thing. So based on our organic certification, we have 5 catering partners that folks can choose from. And those partners have been through training on how to dispose of recyclables and liquid waste and solid waste so that we maintain that integrity. So those 5 catering partners, the couple will work with them directly on their budget and their desires for their food spread and that sort of thing. But those 5 different catering partners are incredible, and they touch every point of the budget. And that means we're doing anything from a birthday party to a family reunion to a full-blown wedding. So we have to have the resources to accommodate every budget. So those catering partners, we have great relationships with them. Aside from that, we welcome outside vendors here to the property. So we want to ensure that we're being inclusive in our community and inviting new folks out to be a part of what we're doing. So we do not have a preferred vendors list outside of our caterers. We do recommend folks if they have questions like, I saw this photo on the website, who did that? And we're more than happy to help recommend to ease that client process. But we don't want to pigeonhole our clients into choosing specific folks that may not meet their vision or their budget. So
I was just about to ask you that. That's amazing. So do you feel like there was a time either with you or another person of the staff that went above and beyond for a couple that had a wedding with you?
Yeah, so very recently, our teammate Kayla, she's our client specialist and venue coordinator. So she works directly, once the client is booked, she works directly with them to collect their details and work on layouts and that sort of thing. And then she's there on the wedding day. And recently there was a wedding taking place and the coordinator had a family emergency that happened. So the wedding planner is not included in our services, so we recommend you have a wedding coordinator. And this wedding coordinator had a family emergency where a family member was headed to the hospital. Super unexpected, not a great situation. And so the floral arrangement still had to be put out. The cake needed to be brought in, a lot of different things that had to happen before the ceremony, and she had to depart very quickly. So our teammate Kayla jumped in and she handled all of it. I mean, it all got taken care of. It was beautiful, without having to disrupt the bride and the groom. I mean, they were aware of the situation, but without adding stress to them. So our team will go above and beyond and do what's necessary in the line of duty to ensure that the experience for the guest and the couple is flawless. And that's just among one of the things that we're willing to jump in and do. And not only Kayla was amazing, so were the caterer that was present, the band that was present. It was amazing to see all those vendors come together for the couple to make it happen, despite that emergency. That's unforeseen. That's something you're not planning for, essentially. Like when you hire your vendors, they're all going to be there, and that just kind of reminds you that life is precious, and ensuring that you have an incredible team of vendors behind you that's going to jump in and help at the drop of a hat. And I know based on your work, you're that vendor that does that. And it's it's so important that you make sure your vendors have your back and have your other vendors back too, because at the end of the day, like I said, it takes a village and you got to make it happen.
Man. And so before we even got on again, you were talking about how Summerfield had a ton of stages. Was there anything, or is there anything else that you feel that's coming up for Summerfield that's new?
Yeah. So one thing that we're really excited about, and I kind of touched on it earlier a little bit, we want to offer something for everybody. So our thing that we're introducing and beginning to share more about is micro weddings and elopements. So we've had several couples that they've had to get deployed very quickly, and they want to have a ceremony, and we want to be there and provide that so that it's cost effective for them, and they can also have their wedding. It's such an important time in your life, and you're going to serve our country. Oh my goodness, like, please, how can we help? So those are areas we're expanding. And then also the other end of that are destination weddings. So we have couples that, all over the U.S., like out west in California, up north in New York, or down south in Florida, that they're looking for a destination wedding. And we have begun to launch those packages. So they range from having all the guest houses on the property for the entire weekend, and doing your rehearsal dinner and your wedding and your farewell brunch. And so we're expanding in those areas to ensure that we are constantly offering something that makes our couples' lives easier, seamless, and a great experience that they get to enjoy for years to come. Like I said, it's not just a wedding venue where we want to have your children out here and take photos and do your children's wedding and supply your family with the healthiest beef and the healthiest water that we can. So
I've actually never heard of the package for a military. I would never have thought of that. And I think that's a pretty damn genius idea. I think that's so sweet. And you said you guys are just starting to advertise for it. Is it mostly on the weekdays that you guys do that?
Well, it's depending on their date availability. So, and what our availability is. So, we can be flexible. Like, it's typically those elopements are happening within 90 days. And you're typically not going to have like your full blown wedding booking within 90 days. So we have a better sense of what our availability is in our calendar. And if there is a weekend date available, we'd love to offer that for them. Some folks have done in the middle of the week, and that's always an option as well. We do a lot of corporate events as well, and social events, and the corporate events typically fill up our weekdays. And, like I said, we can be flexible depending on the time of the year and the day of the week.
I love that you guys offer if the weekend is open, that you do offer that no matter how big or small the wedding is. I think that's fantastic. That's so awesome. If you were to give a couple that's planning a wedding, if you could give them like one small piece of advice, what do you feel like that would be?
Yeah, I so many things come to my mind when you ask that.
You can give multiple if you need to.
So, first of all, enjoy every moment. And I'm sure everyone says this, like, enjoy every moment. It goes by so quickly, and it is the most incredible time. Having all the people that you love around you to support you and know that no matter what you go through, they're going to be there. It is undescribable, that feeling. But secondly, going back to the story that we experienced, having vendors on your team that have your back and will be there. Because, in the planning process, yes, please be budget conscious and cost effective, but think through those intangibles. You don't want your mom or your sister or your dad or your brother or your grandma or whoever that important person is in your life having to run to take care of stuff. You want those people that are important to you next to you, getting ready, getting your hair done, having a toast, helping you button your dress up. You don't want them having to run taking care of duties that another vendor should be taking care of. So it's so important to have those important people in your corner that are going to make sure that you and your fiance's vision comes to life, whatever that may be. So that's probably my number one advice.
I love that. I harp on that so much. I actually did an episode prior to this one, and I harped on that. I'm like, it's all about hiring the right people, because if you go by, and we need to keep conscious of our budget, but there's ways to go about saving up for the people that we want and that we know are going to be there. That's awesome. What's a good way for brides and grooms to reach you? I know you guys have a website. What's your IG handle? And you guys have two of them.
Yes. So our weddings and events one is Summerfield Farms Events. And then we also have one, Summerfield Farms, and that's more generic. It talks about our farming and our market and our free community events that we do often. So starting up in the spring, we'll have Music Monday and Terrace Thursdays that gear back up, and it's from 6 to 8, food trucks, live music, wonderful drink specials. And it's just a great time for the whole family. You can bring your dogs on a leash or your goat, whatever your little loved one is, and come hang out. It's amazing. So that Instagram page is talking more about our community-based things going on, and then our Summerfield Farms events is focusing on our weddings. And you get a lot of great inspiration ideas there, and you may get some ideas like, I don't like the way that looks for my vision, and that's always great for you to share with us so that we can help you build that vision board.
Oh, wow. And then what's the website?
Yep. Our website is summerfieldfarms.com.
Perfect. Girl.
And you can find everything we've talked about there, from our beef to our water to our online shop to weddings to events, the destination packages. You can find it all there.
I think what really blew me away is the whole water thing. I don't know why. I think the whole package of what you guys have to offer, but just that small little tidbit that you give extra for your couples, I'm literally going to get off of here and go check that out and possibly order it, because it sounds
going on right now for New Year's for staying hydrated. So there's a special online to purchase the water. So,
do you know the special?
The promo code's on there. I don't know it off the top of my head,
okay.
But yeah, you'll see it on the website there. So
perfect. Yeah, I'm going to definitely do that.
Something. Yeah, it's really cute. They're incredible. So yeah, check it out. If you have any questions, of course, just let me know.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on here. You were absolutely so sweet and so informative. And I love the fact that you guys just have so many different things that a lot of other people don't offer. So I think I love that. So thank you.
Wonderful. I can't wait to show you around the farm.
I know. Thank you. I'm excited to come up there.
Awesome.